Hi, welcome back. This is part 5 of the site modelling in AutoCAD and 3D Studio exercise. So this is where we'd left things off. We've got the surface of the terrain looking tidy. We've got paths and we've got roads. We can make things a little bit stronger here by creating some curbs. So if I take this back to 2D wireframe, okay, and I'm going to simplify things here, try and get rid of all the 2D layers. So I'm just going to switch off all the layers, but bring back on just the 2D. Sorry, just bring back on the 3D. Okay, don't need to see this material either now. Okay, keep things a bit cleaner. Okay, and the setting out there, we'll hide that as well. Okay, so what we're going to do now is push the roads down by 125 millimeters. Okay, so instead of messing around with layers, what I'm going to do is manipulate this using SSX. SSX, return, pick a 3D surface, and then press enter again. Okay, so even though I can't see them, it's found all the 3D faces in the model. It's found 34. So let's move to M, return, P, return. So I see it's all selected all the faces that was previously selected. I'll add on the junctions. Okay, so I've got 37 in total. Press enter. I've got ortho 1. Base point can be anywhere. Set my direction, and I'm going to go downwards by 125 millimeters, which would be 0.125, and return. Okay, so what I want to do here is create some curbs, and to see if I've got a layer for this. I do. I've got 3D curb face. I'm going to make that the current one. Okay, I'm just going to use normal lines here. So just tracing around the edge of the roads. Okay, and then you can change those to give them thickness. So either change or properties. So PR. Okay, pick a line you just drew, and you'll see here you've got a thickness setting. So we're going to go positive here, so it would be 0.125. Enter. Escape so you can see what's happened. Okay, so it's just dragged the line up to create a surface. If I shade that, you see it gives the pavement a little bit more definition. Okay, where there isn't a curb, we're just seeing a black line, a black space. Okay, 2D wireframe. So once you've got one line with the thickness, you can match properties. Okay, so MA for match properties. Pick the line that's got thickness, and then you can assign that to any other line. Okay, because these are sloping, then the true height here is the 125. Okay, the perpendicular height would be less because it's sloping. Okay, just for your own interest, you can set thickness before you start. So if I set thickness to be 0.125 and then draw the lines, they automatically go in as surfaces. Do that in a shaded mode. See if it will behave. Looking for the next end point. You get the idea? Okay, a little bit laborious, but it works okay. Okay, 2D wireframe. Okay, you can see some material here in the drawing. I've got a couple of shapes. Okay, this larger shape is going to be a tall wall. So from this position here to the top is about 1.8 meters. And this would be the shape, the profile of a low wall. Okay, So instead of extruding, I'm going to use this sweep command. Okay, and this is good because it takes the object, takes the profile, and places it at the end of the line you're wanting to follow, and then it follows the line. Okay, I've experimented with some of the options here, and really, there isn't a heck of a lot of difference with what goes on. When you encounter lines like this, which are going upwards and they're turning in plan as well, so it's curving in two directions effectively, you experience what we call banking. Okay, this profile can't follow the shape truly. Okay, it's just the nature of the way the programming works. Okay, perhaps in something like Rhino you could get it to behave better, but AutoCAD does a reasonable job, but it's not perfect. You'll see in a second once I do it. Okay, so it's asking me to select the object to sweep, which would be this shape, and enter, and then asking for a base point. Okay, and I'm picking a point that's just above the bottom of the profile so that it embeds this part of the shape into the ground. Okay, now it's asking me for the shape to follow. I'm going to ask it to follow this shape. Okay, it's picked up on the current layer, that's okay, we can see it. That could be changed. Okay, so that's a solid. Okay, let's see what happens with this one. So this one's good, because when you look down on the top, okay, you can see it's kind of consistent. The lines making up that shape are all kind of parallel to each other. And watch what happens when we use the other shape instead. So we'll need to see it in 3D so we can make sure we're picking the right stuff. Okay, so sweep this shape this time, enter, select the base point, select this point, then it's saying go and pick the shape you're wanting to follow. Okay, and can you see what's happened with the very start of the shape? You can tell it not to do that. You can tell it to keep the shape vertical at the start, but it still leans over in the rest of the sweep. Okay, if we look at that from the top, you'll see it's a wee bit different. Okay, we've got everything parallel here, but it's not parallel there. The first portion is all good there, but then it starts to twist and bank. Okay, you can see how it's not sitting on the yellow line there, which is what you would hope for. Okay, if I look at this from the side and ask it what the distance is from this point to this one, you would hope there is no change in the Z. Okay, unfortunately there is. 25mm, so there's a fair bit of lean there, there's a fair bit of twist, and it varies depending on which one you pick. Okay, 26.8 there, 28.9mm there. You know, it's noticeable. And the junction here, obviously that looks really bad. Okay, so what I'm going to do for that is have a look from the top down, and I'm just going to trim each end of the solids. So a simple rectangle. Okay, so this square is big enough to trim off the end of this one. Okay, use another rectangle. Okay, this rectangle is big enough to trim off the end of this shape. Okay, turn the model round, extrude both of those. So I'm using the extrude command instead of sweep. Just want them to go vertical. Okay, then using the Boolean commands, subtract from this shape, enter, take this one, enter. Return to bring back the command, subtract from this shape, enter, take this one, enter. Okay, so now we've got vertical ends on both of those, and they're meeting exactly one against the other. So if I shade that, you'll see it's looking pretty tidy. You know, it's a very steep first portion there, that's why we're having so much banking and twisting on the wall. Okay, so you kind of carry on with that, and eventually we should get to this state where all the walls are in place and trimmed and everything's ready to go to 3D Studio. Okay, so I'm not going to do the 3D Studio bit because it's kind of just going over the same kind of ground. Okay, what I will do though is show you a couple of slides. Okay, so you can see what happens. Okay, so this is the wall taken into 3D Studio and mapped. We'll have you put simple materials on here. We can see the curves, but there's not a heck of a lot of definition, and they're very angular. You know, they're pretty crude. So that's why I've called this the crude junction. Okay, if you compare this to this one, the things are looking a lot better. We've got more facets coming around the curbs. The curb has a top face as well, not just a side face. Okay, and I've also modelled some road lines, which certainly helps set the scale. We know kind of how big vehicles are. We can kind of get a better judgment on what the size of the street is here. Okay, so the modelling there is no different really from what we've been doing. We're just adding additional detail. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at how that is done. We'll use this model to show you how I would do that. Okay, so we'll go back to 2D wireframe. Okay, now bear in mind this portion where we've got the solid, where they've got the region here, this is level. So let's start off with that portion as the kind of basis. So I'm going to make the curb front my current layer. Okay, and I'm going to trace over this basically to get a curve instead. So I'm going to do a polyline and then force it to take an arc. So A return. That was a bit too strong there. So sorry, it's A return, then S for second point. Okay, so I'm making the arc go through that particular point. Okay, so if I come to here, it looks like it's going to join back onto that direction fairly neatly. Okay, and then I'm going to take it to the nearest point. I'll do that for a second. Back to line, then go to a nearest point. Okay, so I'm making the corner there look a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to explode that, and then I'm going to divide the curve into 8 segments. So divide by 8. The points there are a bit big, so let's do PD size, and let's make them much smaller. Let's say 0.1. You can see them. Okay, I'm not going to be able to use these facets here, so I'm going to take those away. So these old ones are just going to get in the way right now, so they're going to go. Okay, we could offset this in the way by 100 millimeters, which would be 0.1, and then divide that by 8. Okay, so then we've got something we can work with. So if we 3D surface the top of this, so I'm going from node to node each time. Okay, SSX to get rid of the nodes, E return, P return twice. Okay, the curve has done its job, that can be deleted. Take away the curve on this side as well. Okay, I need a line to get the fronts of the curbs, so I'm just adding a line on top just now, and then I'm going to move everything there by the height of the curb. Okay, we can change the thickness of these ones to minus 0.125. So move it across a wee bit to change. Let's put this at this side. Okay, pick the lines you just drew. Okay, and their thickness would be minus 0.125. Okay, then pick up on this layer instead, and we need a bit more detail there. So it's still level, so we can polyline it first. And close it, and then turn that into a region. Okay, the road is now not fitting the curb, so once we've done all 4 junctions here and improved the geometry at each one, we could trace the road again. So I'll just demonstrate that. Just redraw the road. In that effect. Okay, these longer curbs, they're relatively easy to do. Okay, because this is a line, you can offset it. So O, return, 0.1, return, take the line and take it in the way. Okay, put a top on that, so 3D face the top. Okay, we need to join up with this new shape. Okay, then we've got a 3D face here that we can adjust the position. We're starting to build in more detail there. Let's just do another one of those just to show you. So we'll offset the curb face. Okay, 3D face the top of it. Make sure we pick up on the new shape. Okay, better match layers here. Okay, and then the 3D face that's here, we can just bring that back and drop it on there. Okay, so everything's nice and clean in that area. If I shade that, you can see we've added, you know, a nice bit of detail to that curb. Okay, but it's sloping down here, level, sloping back up. So it's a wee bit tricky, but certainly worth the effort, because you see, you know, you can't get that detail without that kind of method. So a bit of a pinch there, not so good. That's bulging out a little bit there, could have been better. Okay, the road markings though, that's a bit different. So let's open another drawing, show you how the road markings were done. Okay, so looking at enhanced junction. Okay, I'm going to switch on the layer for the road markings. If I can see it. Road markings, there we go. Okay, now these aren't modelled, these are just actually 2D shapes. So if I delete the hatch pattern there, you can see it's a basic shape that's just received some hatching. So these are just hatch patterns. Okay, so I'll put it back the way it was. Okay, this shape is the useful part. Okay, so this is the area in blue of the roads that's going to receive the road markings. I'm not taking them any further, they're a wee bit far away from my site. Okay, so this road pattern, this road marking pattern, is going to be projected onto this surface, and because it's sloping in quite a few different directions, it would be extremely difficult to model onto those surfaces and for it all to work out correctly. So projecting the pattern works better. Okay, and this white shape here picks up the full extent of that blue area. If I look at it from the top and if I shade it, you'll get a better idea. Okay, so you see the white line picks up the corner of the blue, corner of the blue, corner of blue, corner of blue, and then that's been basically brought to a single level and a 3D face put on there, which is equivalent of the mapper that we used in the very first video. So it's second video where we created the the surface material for the landscape. Okay, so this stuff gets exported as geometry, but the white lines is getting exported as a plot. So if you have a look at my layout, this is set to an A2. Okay, so it's reasonably big. The larger the piece of paper, the higher resolution you can achieve for your graphic. Okay, because that's what this is going to become. Okay. So I've plotted all these and exported everything, so you can use them from the materials that come with the exercise. Okay, and if I look in the folder, we should have a road marks PDF. Okay, so it's one big PDF, A2 size, and we're going to crop this out of it using Photoshop. Okay, this has to be done quite carefully. So I'll kind of show you how you can zoom while cropping. So I want to open, not pictures of my son as a baby, even though they are hilarious. Want to go to teaching, close angle site model, and road marks. Okay, media box is okay, anti-aliased is good, so that you get a smooth edge to the graphic, or fairly smooth. We can improve the quality here if we wanted to, if we needed to. We could make it higher res, but 300 dpi should be okay. Okay, I'm going to crop, but with no settings in the crop box, and I can just about make out the crop mark there. So I'm going to zoom in this area first. So you hold the Alt key and you can zoom in. Okay, just pan across a wee bit, let's stick the layers away. Okay, it's a bit jumpy sometimes, but eventually it'll let you zoom in closer. Okay, let's adjust that. We want to try and get this as accurate as we can, so I'm holding the Alt key and rolling the middle mouse button. Okay, a couple more, that's probably as close as I can get. I can see each individual pixel now. Okay, then we want to zoom out the way to get to the other corner. So drag this down, should be around about this area. Zoom in. Keep zooming. Bit of panning. Okay, close now. Bring this up. Zoom again. See if it lets you keep going. So we get as accurate as we can. Okay, bear in mind we're in kind of graphics land now, where things are aren't necessarily as accurate. So I can crop now and zoom out. Okay, let's have a look. You see what happens when you generate a PDF with hatch patterns in it. You get this horrible kind of triangulations. This is how it's generated the fill pattern. So it doesn't look too good. So what you can do to get rid of that is duplicate the layer before you do anything else. So duplicate the layer, starts to get a bit darker, and just keep doing that until those lines disappear. So 3 or 4 times. I'm going to do one more for good luck. Okay, and then merge those together. So it's Control E a few times. Okay, we're now ready to be able to turn that into a graphic. So flatten it now. Well, actually, save it as a PSD just now, and then flatten it. So it's layer, flatten image, invert that, image, adjustments, invert, because this is going to become the cutout mask in 3D Studio. Okay, and then save that as your invert mask. So I've got a few files in here, I've got materials ready to go, and I've got road marks negative. So that's what I saved this as, road marks negative. Okay, and in 3D, I think we've got junction only. Let me just check we've got the bit we need. I think we'll just to the enhanced junction. I'm going to go back to AutoCAD just quickly and export what we've got in here. Okay, so I'm going to because all the layers, the rest of the layers are still in here, so they're all just turned off, so I don't want all that rubbish to go with it. So I'm just going to W block, select the objects, grab all of this, okay, and we'll just keep using our export file, we'll just keep saving over the top of it. Okay, 3D Studio now. I'm going to open one of the files that's a bit further on, so don't save that. Desktop, Deech. Okay, so finish model. Okay, let's just get rid of those. Okay, so this is how it's looking just now. I'm going to twist this over so you can see the junction and put it into a shaded mode. Okay, so this is the crude one that we had before. Okay, this is the crude version, and what we're going to do is take away some of this. So in the top view, selecting the roads, modify, select at face level, and I'm going to take away the area that's going to be coming in. So I'll delete these, delete that area, and delete there. Okay, close the face level editor, pick on the next object, which would be the curbs, take away the lines in the same areas, a bit more to go, that should be it. Turn off the face level, pick the paths now, back to face level, okay, and lastly those ones slightly darker because they're facing the wrong way, and that's what happens when you run up and do the 3-4, 3-4, 3-4. You get some facing one way and some facing another way. See the pattern? Okay, close the face level editor and then import the export file. So import, export and open. Keep the settings the same. Okay, so you can see here we've got some black material infilling, similarly here. Okay, if I zoom in closer, this stuff here is just 2D, it's not going to print, it's not going to render, so I can just delete that. Okay, we need a new material now. So I'm going to use the aerial material, photograph material for my roads. So road marks. Okay, I want white road markings. They could be a bit dirty, could make them, take the kind of lightness off them a wee bit. Okay, let's have a look at this in full size. Okay, we want to replace the base colour. I'm going to copy it and use it just now, just so it saves me a bit of browsing. So I'll copy that. Remove the base colour, and we'll change this to the road marks negative. Okay, so it's using that as the cutout map now. Looks a bit like the plan of an airport, looks a bit strange. Okay. Now if we just apply that to this object, we'll be seeing straight through the road. So we need another copy of the road surface. So let's go to 2D wireframe override and zoom in really close. I'm going to zoom in this area here, really close. So the blue is the road surface. So let's just push this down a second. I'm going to select the road surface. I'm going to clone it where it sits. So it's edit, clone, and we'll call this road marks. Okay, now we're going to move that up just by 5mm. So moving it in this orthogonal view, press F12 and 5mm vertical will be 0.005 in the Z direction. 0.005. Enter. So you can see there's two objects there now. If I zoom in even closer, okay, curb top, curb front, and we've then got the road underneath and then the road marks, which I'm in control of just now. Okay, let's go back to shaded view and we'll assign the material. So I can just drag that onto there. Go back up to the parent level. Okay, I'm not seeing the material show up there, so I'm just going to kind of force that again. I'd be expecting to see the pattern showing up there. Okay, let's try and map that, see if that's going to help. So UVW map. Okay, still not seeing the pattern. Okay, that's okay, we'll stick with it. Right, now select the mapper object and assign mapping to that. So UVW map for this. Because it's just a nice rectangular shape, it should behave itself better. So take the tick off real world map size. Okay, so that's received its mapping. We'll click on the road marks object, acquire the mapping from the mapper, absolute OK. Now, it could just be my system that's not showing the material properly. I'm just going to check everything's okay with the material. Let's just do a quick test render there and see if it's just needing a kick up the backside. Yeah, it's all working fine, it's just my viewport's not behaving properly. Could be my graphics card not up to much scratch here. Okay, so then it's just a case of applying the other materials. So I've got a paths material, I'm just going to drag that straight onto the new paths. The roads are underneath the road marking, so if I click twice I should be in control of road new and assign the road material. Okay, still not happy showing me the road markings. If I zoom in now I can see the black curbs and I can drag my curbs material onto both of those. Okay, let's have a little look at that as a rendered view. I've lost my roads. What have I done? What have I done? Okay, so I've still got road marks. Usual problem. When I cloned the road, I didn't make it unique. Okay, so I need to make it unique and reassign my material, and it should be happy. Okay, you see the material's gone. Reassign the material. Okay, the mapping should still be okay. So let's have a look now. That's better. Easily done. That cloning and making things unique is really important, so always watch out for the instance button. It's when you're in a hurry and you just don't notice things on screen quite clearly, it's very easy to miss the instance button, and that's what can make for a lot of confusion. Okay, so that's kind of where I would kind of leave this little exercise. We've still not got a lot of definition in the rest of the ground here. The mapper would be hidden, you wouldn't need to see that for some time now. It's still resisting showing the lines there. You'll probably find it be okay on your machine. My laptop's a wee bit underpowered probably. Okay, so I hope that's been some use for you. See what we've got here. Got anything finished? Sort of. It's not showing the road marks, but I've just added a few trees into that scene just to make it look a bit more interesting. Okay, best of luck. Goodbye.